Hey there YouTube! While we're approaching the end of January, I really want to get this video out. These are my favorite books of 2017. In 2017, I read I think 37 to 39 books. I can't remember the exact number and I'm too lazy to check. So this was well below my goal of 50 books, but I think I did read a lot of quality books. So I have gathered up a list of my favorite 6 books. I probably could have picked 10, but 10 is like close to a third of the books that I read, and I just want to keep these like top tier books. And all of these books I actually didn't rate 5 stars. A lot of these are 5 stars, but I think there's at least one 4-star in here. I'm still a big enough person to realize the flaws in my favorite things, so some of these books are my absolute favorite books of the year, but they're not all perfect. And I think I've picked a variety of books, just like important books that really spoke to me this year. So the first book is a graphic novel, and it is Zodiac Star Force, and this is by Kevin Panetta and Paulina Ganachio? I ruined that. But this graphic novel, this series, was like made for me. Zodiac Star Force is the perfect graphic novel for that Sailor Moon fan that has grown up. This is about a group of magical girl teenagers, and they turn into these superheroes that and they're themed after like the Zodiac. And so this story isn't an origin story. This is after they've already become these heroes and fought for a long time and stopped fighting, and this is them kind of getting back in the game. The art in this is so vibrant, and it is so much fun, and it also has a great cast of characters. It's all about being friends and learning to love and coming to terms with yourself and some of the things that you may have done in the past. Definitely, if you like any sort of magical girl, then definitely pick up Zodiac Star Force, because this was just like absolutely amazing. The next book that I have is actually a nonfiction book, and it is The Secret Lives of Geek Girls. And this is a collection of art and comics and essays all about finding love through the lens of being a geek girl. It's incredibly diverse. There's tons of different types of people and groups of people represented in this book. And I really liked that about this book, because I have a certain experience, and my experience being the person that I am and the things that I like is not going to be the same as everybody else. So it's great to see how other people experience love or experience finding themselves through kind of this common shared interest that I would have with these authors. Is just like being a nerdy girl. There are stories about love and loss and relationships and friendships and just like all sorts of different types of love and experiences, and just like this was such a valuable read for me this year. I really enjoyed it. The next book I have is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and I can't believe I read this book in 2017, because I feel like I read this book forever ago, but I fell in love with this book. Definitely, I think if you're gonna read a Nicola Yoon book, read The Sun Is Also a Star and not Everything. This is like 5,000 times better than Everything. This book was so moving and so cinematic. Like, I felt like I was seeing the things that happened in this book. It was so great. So it's about a girl whose family are illegal immigrants from Jamaica, and it's the day she's going to be deported back to Jamaica. And she ends up meeting this Korean guy, and he's also got his own set of issues. He's kind of dealing with the expectations of his family and living up to the standards that his brother was, and all this sort of like family drama. And these two meet, and it is a whirlwind of a love story. This is a love story that is super cute and super heartbreaking and super moving, and just like I loved this. I loved this so much. Like, from the second I finished it, it was amazing. Also, this cover is gorgeous. The next book that I read is Warcross by Marie Lu, and I've been waiting for this book for freaking ever. I really liked Marie Lu's Young Elites series, so I was super excited to see something a little bit different than that. So this is like a science fiction type of book. I want to say if you liked Ready Player One, then read Warcross, and if you hated Ready Player One, read Warcross, because it's way better. It's about this girl who is a hacker who makes her way into this huge worldwide gaming tournament of the game that's sort of like a virtual reality League of Legends type of thing. And it is so cool. It's so vibrant and amazing, and it takes place in Tokyo, and like Japan is very close to my heart. I love Japan. And there is a awesome diverse cast of characters, and their like differences or diverseness doesn't kind of like slap you in the face with it. It's just very natural, and it's something like, it's just something that I really appreciate about this book. I did end up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars because there's a romance plot in here that I don't really like feel that great about. It's not that it's bad or anything like that, it just came about in a weird way. It's like one of those things where you want it to happen but you're like, oh, that's never gonna happen, and then it happens. So that was kind of the thing that kind of like knocked off a star for me, because it just like felt really unsettling to me, but that also might have been the point of it. You'll find out if you read this. Definitely, like, I want everyone to read Warcross because it's just like so cool, and I can't wait for the next one. The next book on my list of favorites is the book that probably everyone on BookTube is talking about, and it is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. So I read this at the end of the year, probably in December, and just like, it was as beautiful as everybody says it is. Like, holy crap, it is so small, but it packs a huge punch. So this book, if you don't know or you've never heard of this book because like you don't watch anybody on YouTube, but it is about a bunch of kids who go to essentially a boarding school for kids who have traveled to other worlds like Narnia or like Alice in Wonderland, that type of thing. And it's all about them dealing with the fact that they may never get to go back to that world. And there is so much more to this book than that. It really surprised me with some of the things. It's very dark and sad at times, but like, I just loved it. I can't wait to read the next 2. I want to read them right away. Definitely one of those books where it definitely lives up to the hype. And finally, we have made it to what I think is my favorite book of 2017. That is We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. So this book, first off, this book is freaking beautiful. Like, this cover is just like the most beautiful cover I have ever seen. I just cannot stop looking at it, and just like knowing what is inside of this book just makes this cover all that more beautiful. So this is about a girl who experiences a very tragic type of loss, and it is her dealing with that and kind of the aftermath of how she initially dealt with it. It is a very lonely book, and it is sad, and it is going to break your heart, but I feel like there is a tiny bit of hope in there. That tiny little bit of hope is what like kind of kept me going through this book, and it just moved me so much, because while I haven't experienced the specific type of sadness and loneliness that is in this book, if you have ever felt like any sort of like intense sort of like depressive loneliness, then I feel like you are going to really love this book. You know, I had a period of time where I was just felt very lonely, and I felt like I couldn't get over it, but eventually I did become less of a lonely person. But this kind of like, it made me think about a lot of those experiences and a lot of those feelings I was having at that point in my life, and it was just like so beautiful, and I just love this book so much. So those are my favorite books of 2017. I feel like that's a really good pile and really representative of like the best stuff that I did read. There's a lot of other stuff that I really loved, but I think that these few books are the ones that really stood out to me and the ones that I keep on thinking about. Let me know in the comments what your favorite book of 2017 was. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish and nerdy content from me. That's all I've got for you guys today. I'm Chrissy Lou. Till next time, matane!